so let's keep on moving here. Maybe another Rachni is going to pop the vents here. Might wait until we do this. Let's see. Because they are sneaky like that. Just barely snuck in there. Okay. More high-ish level stuff, so that's good. Rachni. 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 Rachni? No Rachni. Also, we are still regenerating our life from getting hit by that Rachni earlier. So yeah, the damage is pretty significant. Making this potentially a very dangerous mission. I think I just heard one. May or may not have actually shown up, though. Rachni here. Definitely is going to be one. Just wait for it. Take the medkit. Pops up through the vents. Any day now. It's gonna pop up through the vents. It's gonna pop up through the vents. When we, stand on it, directly on top of it, so that it can absolutely maul us immediately. Alright, maybe not. There it is. Just wait for us to leave first. Okay. So they've already made it go all floaty. Let's throw it against the wall. There we go. It's dead. And in here we've got, well, something. Namely, what looks like another elevator. And let's see, on our map, sometimes it says in front of elevators, yeah, where it's going to take us. To Mira Core. Okay, let's check it out. Alright, well, there do appear to be some enemies in here as well, by the looks of things. And, given the track record thus far, one would expect either Geth or Rachni, or perhaps even both. It's so hard to tell, because we have not read all of our codex entries yet, as to when/whether we are actually getting new entries. Let me just read up on non-council races here real quick. I doubt it, but there's a non-zero chance that what I'm looking for is actually potentially hiding in there. Not the category I would have expected, per se. Oh, we have a lot. We have a whole lot. Okay, including Geth. In fact, armatures. Armatures are quadruped all-terrain heavy weapons platforms, akin to the armored fighting vehicles of other races. Geth being synthetic intelligences, armatures are not crewed vehicles, but intelligent entities capable of independent decision-making and learning. Armatures are equipped with heavy kinetic barriers. Their main cannon, mounted on the articulated head turret, appears to be a highly efficient conventional mass accelerator. It is capable of firing in anti-personnel and anti-tank modes. Some armatures carry drones into battle, presumably for reconnaissance purposes. Others host a swarm of insect-sized repair microbots. Okay, so that's the armatures. We've certainly run into a fair amount of those. The hoppers, we've seen a few of those as well. Yet the models collectively dubbed hoppers by Alliance forces are electronic warfare platforms. They can project electromagnetic radiation across the broad spectrum as an offensive weapon. They can also perform cyber warfare attacks against onboard computers of body armor, hard suits, and weapons, adversely affecting their performance. So yeah, they are actually capable of doing some of the tech-related abilities that we can use. I don't know if they can sabotage shields, but I think that they can overheat our weapons. The structure of hoppers consists of an advanced and highly elastic artificial muscle material. This allows a hopper to compress its entire body for powerful leaps. Hoppers also have thousands of molecule-scale barbs on the surfaces of their hands and feet that are used to cling to walls and ceilings. Hoppers are very difficult targets, leaping from one surface to another in rapid succession. That we've certainly experienced. Quarians have no record of any Geth models similar to hoppers. This new morpho-type must have been developed over the last 300 years by the Geth themselves. This is troubling proof that the Geth are continuing to move toward technological singularity, Experts in synthetic life are intrigued that hoppers appear to be even more organic than the baseline Geth. The identified subtypes of hopper have been codenamed Sapper, Stalker, and Ghost. So yeah, there are numerous different iterations of them. Don't know if we've run into any Ghosts yet. I think we've definitely found some Sappers, maybe some Stalkers. I think they more or less go in order of power there, where Ghosts are the really strong ones. So be on the lookout for them. Then we have some Krogan information, and Krogan are certainly very interesting, and given how we have Rex in our team right now, relevance as well. The harsh Krogan homeworld conditioned the Krogan psychologically for toughness just as it did the body. Krogan have always had a tendency to be selfish, unsympathetic, and blunt. They respect strength and self-reliance and are neither surprised nor offended by treachery. The weak and selfless do not live long. In their culture, looking out for number one is simply a matter of course. After their defeat in the rebellions, the very concept of Krogan leadership was discredited. Where a warlord could once command enough power to bring entire solar systems to heel and become overlord, these days it's rare for a single leader to have more than 1,000 warriors swear allegiance to him. Most Krogan trust and serve no one but themselves. This solitary attitude stems in part from a deep sense of fatalism and futility, a profound social effect of the genophage that caused Krogan members to dwindle to a relative handful. Not only are they angry that the entire galaxy seems out to get them, Krogan are also generally pessimistic about their race's chances of survival. Surviving Krogan see no point to building for the future. There will be no future. Krogan live with an attitude of kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die. Eat, drink, be merry, for tomorrow we die. Nah, kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die. Say the Krogan. Right, then there is, of course, the Genophage, which we have heard a bit about. Genophage bioweapon was created to end the Krogan rebellions. From the start, the Krogan had overwhelmed the Council. Only timely first contact with the Turians saved the Council races. The Turians fought the Council to a standstill, or fought the Krogan to a standstill, rather, very different, but sheer weight of Krogan numbers indicated the war could not be won through conventional means. The Turians collaborated with the Solarians to genetically engineer a counter to the rapid breeding of the Krogan. Genophage virus gained the energy to replicate by eating the genetic sequences. Every cell in every Krogan had to be altered for the weapon to be foolproof. Otherwise, the Krogan could have used gene therapy to fix the affected tissues. Once a genophage strain could find no more genes to eat, it would starve and die, limiting spin-off mutation and contamination. This created genetic flaw is hereditary. The Solarians believed the genophage would be used as a deterrent, a position the Turians viewed as naive. Once the project was complete, the Turians mass-produced and deployed it. Krogan homeworld, their colonies, and all occupied worlds were infected. The resulting mutation made only 1 in 1,000 Krogan pregnancies carried to term. It did not reduce fertility, but offspring viability. The rare females able to carry children to term became prizes the Krogan warlords fought brutal battles over. Krogan are a shadow of their former glory. While the rebellions took place centuries ago, they are constantly reminded of the horror of the genophage, and their inability to counter it. The release of the genophage is still controversial, bitterly debated in many circles. Okay, let's read up on Krogan rebellions here, and then we may wrap it up on the non-council races here, and maybe just Codex in general for the time being. After the Ragni War, the quick-breeding Krogan expanded to the expense of their neighbors, or at the expense of their neighbors. Warlords leveraged their veteran soldiers to seize living space while the council races were still grateful. Over centuries, the Krogan conquered world after world. There was always just one more needed. When the council finally demanded withdrawal from the Asari colony of Lucia, Krogan overlord Kradak stormed off the citadel, daring the council to take their worlds back. But the council had taken precautions. Finest STG operatives, that's what Solarian, I forget what the T stands for, but basically the Solarian spies, and Asari huntresses had been drafted to convert to a covert observation force, the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, in other words, Spectres, and you'd think, we should probably know that one, and be able to pronounce it. The Spectres opened the war with crippling strategic strikes. Krogan planets went dark as computer viruses flooded the extranet. Sabotaged antimatter refineries disappeared in blue-white annihilation. Headquarters stations shattered into orbit-clogging debris, rammed by pre-placed suicide freighters. Still, this only delayed the inevitable. War would have been lost, if not for the first contact with the Turians, who responded to Krogan threats with a prompt declaration of war. Being on the far side of Krogan space from the Council, Turians advanced rapidly into the lightly defended Krogan rear areas. Krogan responded by dropping space stations and asteroids on the Turian colonies. That would just casually drop space stations and asteroids on you. 3 worlds were rendered completely uninhabitable. This was precisely the wrong approach to take with the Turians. Each is first and foremost a public servant, willing to risk his life to protect his comrades. Rather than increasing public war weariness, Krogan tactics stiffened Turian resolve. Arrival of Turian Task Force saved many worlds from the warlords' marauding fleets, but it took development of the genophage bioweapon to end the war. There were decades of unrest afterwards. Rogue warlords and holdout groups of insurgents refused to surrender or disappeared into the frontier systems to become pirates. Okay, so, let's, that's not what I want. I just wanted to see what the other options are, but I can't scroll down without actually highlighting them, and if we highlight them, then we're not going to know that we haven't actually read them, so that's going to be the case for a couple of Quarian entries, but, so be it. So be it. I don't think the one that I'm looking for is there just yet. Then I'll casually smash my water on the ground while I'm at it. Okay. Anyways, as a reminder, there are seemingly a group of enemies in front of us here. Just check. Yeah, everyone's on full HP here, thankfully. But this doesn't sound good. Okay, we've got more of these workers, I think. Can we just, like, singularity all of them? Because that is something that I would like. Yes. That, I think, would be very helpful. There's still, I think, one there. I think it's dead. I think it's now dead. I think we're gonna see some big Rachni.
Shepard, that is a backup power system for the station mainframe.
So whack it. Turn this thing on.
Hold on. I hear a Rachni. Alright, fine, we'll whack it.
Critical startup error. Virtual intelligence user interface offline. Manual boot required.
Alright, manual boot required, you say? Anytime one of these doors opens or what have you, does kind of set off the internal alarm, make you think that they're going to be Rachni randomly appearing, because they do absolutely randomly appear, or at least pop out of areas in order to surprise you. But at least at the moment, it looks like things are relatively calm. Let's take a look at what we've learned here. So for Peak 15, computers are damaged. Well, actually, let's see what this says. Peak 15's virtual intelligence computer program has suffered some kind of failure and requires a manual reboot. Peak 15's virtual intelligence computer program has suffered some kind of failure, and yeah. That. It's the same. Okay, anyway. So that's what we need to do here. Let's, go to Mira and enter the core. That's quite dramatic. Okay, we can exit the core, but I presumably we came down here for a reason. Let's access the memory core, I suppose. The other friends come down here. No, it's just us. The VI core appears inoperational. You can attempt to manually reconfigure the databanks or use Omnigel to repair the damaged systems. Let's attempt to manually reactivate it. And what we get here is basically, I think there's a name for this sort of game. I think it's called like Towers of Hanoi or something like that. But basically, we have to build some towers here. So, the way this works is that you'll see we have basically a bunch of blue blocks, for lack of a better way of putting it. And we have to move these blue blocks. I actually don't remember where. I'm hoping just like really any of these places here, other than where they started. So we had them all stacked up in that leftmost column. And I'm hoping we need them in like the middle one, maybe. But so what you can't do, or maybe what you have to do, is you have to have always the larger blocks on the bottom, and then have smaller and smaller as you go up. So, like for example, if I wanted to say move this biggest block on the left side, then I cannot put it over all the way on the right side because, well, I can't slide it under the smaller blocks. I need to start with the biggest one on the base and then build up from there. So, for example, I could put it here and then proceed to, well, move some other things around, but then if I move the small one up to the middle, then suddenly I can't do anything with the big one. So what we should probably do here is, oh, I did not mean to do that. This is also just a little bit harder with controller, but so it takes a little more brain power. But let's move you back there. Let's move you here. Move you here. Then suddenly, well, yeah. Again, the question of like, am I supposed to move them to the middle, or am I supposed to move them to the far right? Because we can move them to the far right. Well, actually, does it matter which? But no, I wanted that. Let's see. This. Oh no, I totally messed this up now. Bleh. This is fun. Here, yeah, this got out of hand a bit here. So I remember the first time I did this, on my first playthrough, I struggled mightily with it. Sort of. And then it just took me a little while. And then in my second playthrough, I just like immediately got it. So admittedly, I kind of threw myself off a little bit when I proceeded to, rather than actually doing this, just explain stuff and kind of deliberately sabotaged it a bit just to demonstrate how not to do it, and that did kind of mess with things, but here we go. Now we're on pace. This here, do this here. Okay. There we go. That was a very loud noise. So yes, I don't know if it worked on the far side, but the middle side does work.
Would you like help?
You are the station VI? Question mark.
You're the virtual intelligence that runs this place?
This system is monitored to respond to the name Mira. May I ask your name?
Yes, my name is Spectre.
Commander Shepard. I work for the Citadel Special Tactics and Reconnaissance.
One moment, please. Council authority confirmed. You are entitled to secure access of all systems.
Oh,
please
that's
note
nifty.
That queries relating to corporate secrets require privileged access.
We have
Privileged
that?
access is only available to binary helix
Jux.
executives. This system is ready to process queries. You may access me at any holographic interface within Peak 15.
Okay. See, we're looking for Matriarch Benezia. Did you happen to see a big Asari lady with a group of commandos with her?
I need to find Matriarch Benezia.
Lady Benezia departed on the passenger tramway to the Rift Station subsidiary labs.
Ah, so she's
User
not here?
alert. The tramway system is currently inoperable.
Okay, can you give us a damage report then?
What's the situation here?
One moment, please. Diagnostics in progress.
Everything
Critical
is messed
failure.
up.
Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required. Critical failure. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger tram systems are offline. Report complete. Do you have an additional system status query?
Okay, let's see. So, the main reactor, can you tell us more about that?
Do you know why the reactor was shut down?
I'm sorry, but I was offline at the time. Shutdown could occur if reactor breach seems likely, or in the case of catastrophic laboratory containment failure.
That doesn't sound good.
Suggests the frigid environment will kill biological contagions. It may also damage mechanical ones.
Turn off the heat and hope the cold puts whatever you've unleashed to sleep.
Okay. How would we fix that?
What do I need to do to get the power back on?
The valves to the helium-3 fuel line must be opened. This can be done at the controls on the reactor assembly proper.
Okay. So I think that means we've asked everything about the main reactor, or what about the landlines, though?
What are the landlines, and why are they disabled?
The landlines connect my mainframes here at Central Station to the various sub-facilities of Peak 15. This allows the crew to remotely access my databases from the comfort and security of their labs. When emergency protocols were implemented within the hot labs, the cabling was automatically ejected.
Okay, so some kind of emergency in the hot labs. And then that made everything go awry. So how do we fix that?
How do I reconnect the landlines?
The landlines are designed for easy reconnection.
Nice.
The router for the landlines is on the roof of operations. Simply activate the controls and the hardware will reconnect and reboot automatically.
That sounds good. Anything
what
else
happened here.
we can ask?
I'm sorry, but I need a more specific query.
Oh, well, let's see. Oh, we can ask a lot, actually. Your final logs. What was the last thing you were able to ascertain about the situation?
Tell me what occurred immediately before you shut down.
Stage 1 alert issued at Hot Labs. Contaminants released from Laboratory Pod Gamma. Emergency protocols implemented. Stage 2 alert issued at Hot Labs. Isolation 2 breached. Tram shut down. Landline to Hot Labs disconnected. Stage 3 alert issued locally. Contaminants in tram tunnels. Station shutdown and evacuation initiated. Code Omega sent.
What is Code Omega? Also, what are the contaminants?
What sort of contaminants escaped?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related to our research require privileged access.
Darn.
Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
So much for that, then. What about... I mean, well, we can... Wait, hold on. Is this basically just the same question here? The hostile creatures? Maybe.
The creatures we've encountered here.
If
did
this
they
ain't
come
all, we
from
can
the
get more
lab?
answers?
I'm sorry, Commander. Inquiries related
Yeah.
to our research require privileged access. Only executives of Binary Helix have that level of clearance.
Okay. Can you tell us more about how and why you shut down?
Why were you taken offline?
In the event, Peak 15 must be sterilized for security purposes. My program and data are purged.
Yes, they destroy you?
They kill you if something goes wrong?
My systems are permanently disabled. To be killed, I would need to be alive. I am merely a database program.
Okay, then... I think we've already gotten the damage report? I'm fairly certain of that, because that's sort of how we led off this conversation. So I think we're good here. And maybe let's just give it a quick
I
shot.
need
just to see.
instructions on how to repair the station.
Critical failure. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment
Yeah, I
procedures.
think we've already heard this.
Manual restart required. Critical failure.
Yeah,
Lab
we know this. Okay,
report
so I'm gonna
complete.
skip this.
Do you have an additional system status query?
Yeah, so
That's
that
all
should
I
be
need
everything
right
here,
now.
I think.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
Okay.
User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
Okay, so we take a look at our journal here. We will now see that we need to do several things here. We need to reconnect the landlines. Cabling that connects the main Peak 15 facility to the subsidiary labs is down. Trams will not operate until this is fixed. And to do that, we need to go to the roof. Then we have the reactor. And fuel lines to the core must be restored. And they must be restored using controls on the central reactor core. And then Matriarch B and Venezia as a whole. Let's see. Tracking down Matriarch Venezia, and she has gone to the Rift Station facility, which is accessed via Peak 15's passenger tram. So we need to make sure that we can actually get through those passenger trams. And that's why we're doing all this stuff here. So, with that in mind, let's take a look at our map, because that should be updated as well now. And so this is where we came in. But now we can see that this is to the trams. And this is to the reactor. So we need to go to the reactor. We need to go to the roof. And once we do that, we should have everything we need to successfully make it to the tram. So, in terms of preferences here, I think I might prefer that we go reactor first. So that'll be back through the way that we came
User
and over to the
alert.
left.
Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are
I still think there's going to be
offline.
Arachnite here. Hello? Maybe not. Just you wait. At some point, I think there will be. So, I believe this is taking us to the reactor room. If I'm not mistaken, let's just make sure, double check. Yep, reactor. Okay, cool. Let's save here. Actually can't ever save in an elevator for reasons unknown to me. That's kind of just a thing. I think we can save over this. Don't think there's any reason why we'd need to go back. Okay, so, friends. Oh, they're stuck on this door.
Alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures. Manual restart required.
They'll teleport here anyway.
Entering main reactor.
So yeah, Mira will continue to pester us with all these alerts. All the more reason for us to take care of business as soon as possible.
Manual restart required.
Okay, so this is the reactor. And as you probably can imagine, things get a little bit hectic down here. Here's a little hint for you. As you can see in the bottom right corner, our map is jammed. And, well, let's just say Rachni, those enemies who are just starting to see, they don't have that capability. But I think you can guess who does. So that means we might want to switch things up a little bit for our gear here. Specifically on, let's see, for you, Rex. Oh, you don't even have any ammo for your shotgun here, and that we should definitely change. The hammerhead rounds. Oh, did we though? Wait, hold on. No, you have that. It's that. Oh no, when we upgraded your weapon, once it got to level 7, you now have access to a second type of mod here. And I think we are finding that our combat scanners are not a high enough level to overcome their scanner jammers at the moment, so that's not really helping us. We could further go down the high caliber barrel route for additional damage, but I mean this is a tough one when you're only getting a 12 damage and you're lowering the heat rate or the heat absorption and rate of fire quite a bit. Might even be better just to go with a heat sink. It's a little strange on the shotgun, but since I think we are going with the rail extension here, probably does make some sense. So let's do it. And then, yeah, we have synthetic rounds here, I think. Probably does work well.
User alert. Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures.
Because...
Manual restart required.
Just nab this real quick. We're gonna have ourselves...
User alert. Landline connections...
a whole freaking lot again. So... let's barrier up real quick. You are still hitting us. I do not like this. Got a destroyer, that's a bit of a problem. Got a stalker. That might be the first stalker we've seen, but that's, I think, a slightly more dangerous version than the sappers, so it's the middle level, if you will, or the middle tier of the hopper type geth. In addition to, that might be a stalker there as well. So, let's see. We like, what do we want to do to mess with these guys? We could say, have Liara Singularity here, where there's sort of a group of people. If we could actually manage to nab that stalker, that'd be great. Also like to sabotage their weapons. Did that work? I think it did. In fact, I think we got all of them. Except for that guy. Except for that guy. They are not dead, Mikey. They are not dead. That destroyer who's right next to us is not dead. So that's a problem. Because it has explosive rounds. Let's throw you. Or rather, it has like a... has a missile launcher, basically. Okay. So now let's... overload your shields again. It also has a shotgun, which is pretty nasty at close range. And we stasis. Yes, we can. So that is extremely helpful. That is the benefit of stasis.
Main reactor shut down in accordance with emergency containment procedures.
Sabotage your weapons. Oh, where did all them come from? A lot of hoppers. Okay, let's see. Lift somebody. Also, our weapons are overheated. Not good. Shields back up. We are potentially going to get swarmed here.
User alert. Landline connections are disabled.
Still got you.
Passenger trams are offline.
Okay, you're down, and we actually leveled in the process. So that's cool. I think we still have a lot of those hoppers hanging around the corner, though. So let's see. At this point, we would like... I mean, tech abilities are certainly relevant against the Geth right now, less so against the Rachni. But we are definitely leaning pretty heavily on our tech abilities. Liara has a tiny bit. Rex doesn't have any. We were focusing on stasis, though. I mean, one more level we can get advanced stasis, which would be pretty nice here, I do think. So let's do that, because that gives us a sizable duration improvement from 14.5 to 17 seconds. I think the recharge time gets faster as well. Starts at, what, is it like a minute, and then it goes down to 50 seconds? I think, yes, 60 seconds here, and it's 50 here, so it lasts longer and has faster cooldown. So that's definitely useful. And then, I mean, at this point, I think we might be looking to start pushing Spectre training again, try to get up to advanced unity for better restoration when not enemies, friends go down. Let's go that route here. Then for our friends on Liara, we were saying maybe electronics. I mean, shields, like we were saying, not so relevant against the Rachni, but against Geth it actually is helpful. And then Overload has been a nice complement, giving us at least one other person capable of doing some tech abilities. Then Rex, for you. I think we got to most of the stuff we were looking to do on you. Yeah, because we got the advanced throw last level, in which case you can go Battle Master for just more life regeneration. It's not a huge difference here, although even resistance to physics forces is a little bit relevant, or at least will be, fairly soon. So, I mean, it's either that or we could go further down for some damage in assault rifles or shotguns for things like Master Carnage. I think we might go defensively here. Given the difficulty of this situation we're about to find ourselves in. We're already finding ourselves in. Anything interesting here? I mean, strong, yes. But I don't think anything that immediately changes our current situation. Yeah, we got more you guys coming through here. Let's throw you before you get out of range. It's still there. Is it dead? I don't know if it's actually dead. Those ones are, though. This one was not. Don't know where that fell.
User alert. Main reactor
There is an explosive
shut down
container
in
over there.
accordance with emergency containment procedures.
Yeah, there. Oh, look at this.
Manual
We can
restart
now see,
required.
at least for the moment. I think it is generally the hoppers that do the jamming.
User alert. Landline
What are you firing at?
connections are
The
disabled.
wall is
Passenger
currently the
trams
answer.
are offline.
So thanks, guys. Storage locker here that we can break into. Okay, ooh, Tornado 7. That's a pretty high level. That sounds nice. Second, I thought there was yet going through that door. Anything else in here that we can actually unlock? Let's just take a quick check. I don't think that's an upgrade. Combat Scanner 6 might actually be enough to break through their jamming. But more than anything, I just wanted to see Rex. Better heatsink capacity, worse damage, worse accuracy. I think we'd probably still stick with what you have. Oh, it's a Juggernaut right next to us. Lovely. So, can we stasis it? If so, then I would like to do that. Can you guys, like, actually destroy this guy? Because, yeah, otherwise it's gonna nearly destroy Liara.
User alert. Main reactor
Let's give her a second
shut down in
to,
accordance with emergency
get her shields
containment
back, and
procedures.
that
Manual
comes quickly.
restart
She does have a little
required.
bit of life regeneration with the weapon, or rather the armor upgrade that we gave her.
User
Or was
alert.
that explosive we could've
Landline
used to
connections
blow
are
up right on him?
disabled. Passenger trams are offline.
Don't mind me as I nab this as well. Okay, don't think anything we're gonna be using in the near future with that. So now that we actually have taken out what seems to be most of the peoples here, let's take a look at our map and actually see where we're technically supposed to go. Kind of just ran around, taking people out. Yeah, it looks like this may have just been a random little branch off to the side, which technically does not have any significance, particular significance. Let's head back. Oh, we got solid loot, and we of course got the chance to fight a few more enemies, giving us a little bit more experience. So that's not bad. But this does not appear to be the main section we're looking for. Yeah,
User alert.
now that our
Main
radar
reactor
is no
shut
longer
down
jammed, we
in
can see it
accordance
more
with
readily.
emergency containment
We're looking for
procedures.
stuffs
Manual restart required.
right in there. That's likely the reactor. However,
User alert. Landline.
if we could actually
Fuel line is cut.
get to the other side, that might be good as well if there is another side for us to go through. No, okay. I'm wondering if there's basically, if it was symmetrical, if there's another second floor on this side of things, but it doesn't look like there is, so let's, in that case, not have that explode in our face, and then check out the fuel lines here. Oh, remember, there's a non-zero chance that we get swarmed by Geth as soon as we do this, so let's save just in case. Alright, fuel lines fixed. Are the Geth mad at us for having done that? Seemingly not. I think we're in the clear. Oh,
User
map
alert.
that.
Landline connections are disabled. Passenger
Think we already got
trams
that?
are offline.
Let's make sure there's nothing on this side, because I don't really think we went through here. I mean, we poked our head in far end, but yeah, this looks good. Not immediately seen anything, and like we said, no additional floor on that side, so I think we're in the clear there. Let's hop back, because we are now done with the reactor. We'll hop through the elevator, back into the main room. Like I was saying, I suspect when we get back here, there will perhaps be some Rachni awaiting us. So let's come prepared. I think they might pop through the vents as soon as we get through this room.
User alert.
As a bit of a
Landline
surprise.
connections are disabled. Passenger
Either
trams
that or I'm
are
paranoid about them
offline.
popping up, but you know, to a certain extent, that's kind of what they're there to do. It's kind of the idea, right? Rachni. Yep, exactly. See? I was not making it up. So let's incapacitate you. Question is, are you the only one that pops up here, or does that one have friends? Because that's only one vent. There are more vents where that came from. Oh, what was that technician kit? Where are you hiding? I saw that for a second. There you are. Kinetic stabilizer, high explosive grenades. I mean, I think that is the grenade upgrade we're using right now. Not that we're using our grenades very often, but if we have a better version, then we might as well, right? So let's see. We're on high explosive 6. I think that is exactly what we just picked up. So yeah, we just have a bunch of extras. And we could definitely sell a bunch of our grenade upgrades here. Okay. Any more of those hiding around in this room? In upgrade kits or what have you?
User alert.
Don't think so.
Landline
So that's the
connections
passenger
are
trams.
disabled.
We aren't ready to go there
Passenger
just yet.
trams are offline.
As you just heard, passenger trams are in fact still offline. So we need to now head through here to the roof. And before we do this, let's save. Because, well, I remember this one. This one is hard to forget.
Now exiting to the roof. User alert. Landline connections are disabled. Passenger trams are offline.